Alright, this is Excellent Men Annual 1 from 2007. I got a nice comment the other day, and YouTube didn't show it. I saw it in the email notification. It was on the Onion Free video, but it never actually showed on the YouTube comments section, so I couldn't reply to it. Thanks, I guess. I would have written something better. This is a good comic, so let's get into it. We have Sabreclaw on the recap page, and Sabreclaw isn't in this issue. He's not even mentioned. And the bad guy we are focusing on is Neil Diamond, a character from the 90s who never got much traction outside of the 90s. He was introduced in Fecal Attractions, Extra Factors 92. He was the main baddie in Bloodlines. He was in Age of Armageddon. He fought Holidays. And then he just fell into disuse. I think he suffered from a condition that affected a lot of 90s Excellent Men enemies. He was overpowered, but his character was left vague and mysterious, so there wasn't that much to gan on with him. Our team for this issue, it is a cut down cast from the main book, and we only have, from left to right, Mistake, the sexy Smurf lady, Rouge, and then Cables. They have gone up onto the s.h.i.e.l.d. helicopter carrier. And we have a lot of relationship stuff with Rouge and a foster mom, Mistake. I scoff at incest parents, but if you want to have an incest parent, this is the one you are allowed to have. They are not blood related. They just have a familial dynamic. They can scissor and it is not wrong. One of the subplots in this is really good and a long time coming. s.h.i.e.l.d. They have Northman and Aurora Borealis, and they are trying to deprogram them. They both individually had become baddies. Northman was done well, Aurora Borealis was not. Down here you can see a lazy artist just reused Jason Byrne art on the monitor screens rather than draw it himself. Max Brooks is the artist. I got over him a long time ago and urge you to as well. Here we see the twins reliving memories. What happened was Northman, he got killed by Wolfman, and he was resurrected by the Foot Clan, and that made him evil. That was well done and reasoned. Aurora Borealis, on the other hand, she was just being written awful. In that Weapon Cross series, she just went along with horrible shit, and they would say it was a mental illness or whatever. But then what happens is s.h.i.e.l.d. they get attacked. It is Neil Diamond, and he has formed a new team of Excuse-me's, and one of them is T-1000 from Extra Factors. This is a character that had been pushed into obscurity, but I think Michael Lucifer, the writer here, he writes T-1000 well. He got that he was a bit more than what he seemed on the surface. Also on this team are Vixen and Tempest, all characters Michael Lucifer later plays with in his very long and very overlooked run on the Excellent Men books. Here we see Northman remembering the scene with Cara Tennant from Alpha Strike 41, and Aurora Borealis remembering a less good scene from Alpha Strike 42. And then the two of them, they are rudely awakened, like that album by Megadeth. They are not quite finished being deprogrammed yet, so they run around and didn't really day out to affect the plot. You see, Neil Diamond, he has this plan to hijack the helicopter carrier and use it as his new base of operations. He is going to make it like Noah's Ark for muties. And now we get to see the Excellent Men fight the Excuse-Me's. Oh, this is when Rouge, she had Sunman's powers. This didn't last long, but it was a very sensible idea. Rouge, she had lost Miss Marble's powers a long time ago, and for a decade or so, she was just ganning around, absorbing things through contact. That was her power. But then they decided to give her a permanent power set again, in the vein of Miss Marble's days. And so they had her absorb Sunman's powers when Sunman was mutilated by Lady Shiva. They just forget about these powers and they disappear. It was a worthwhile development though. Mistake versus Tempest here. This was when Mistake was on the Excellent Men. Obviously, I said she was on the team earlier on. Our ear Cables versus T-1000. Good stuff. But when it comes down to it, T-1000, he was another one of those characters that Michael Lucifer kept setting up and then forgot about. He did that a lot with characters. Elian Keller is another one. And even the twins here, they didn't really appear in his run ever again after this issue. They hold hands, and that is all it takes to finish off their de-brainwashing. And then we get to see Mistake versus Vixen. And Mistake, she shapeshifts into a form you would not want to have sex with. And Northman and Aurora Borealis super speed in to help them fight the bad guys. We start tackling House of Mirth fallout with Neil Diamond because he discovers that there are no newborn babies with the mutie gene. And that was one of the great things about this run. House of Mirth, that happened, and Marvel just rested on their laurels, hoping that Michael Bryan Benson would explain it, or that their star writer, Joshua Wiedenson, might gift them with doing a story about this major thing that affected the Excellent Men books. But 3 years later, they realised neither of their two superstar writers were bothered. So they just let people like Michael Lucifer start exploring it. It is far too late to finally address this stuff, but it heralds the beginning of a period of the Excellent Men books that is of high quality. And here we start setting up characters for the first big crossover of this great stretch of the books. Neil Diamond and his a cappella group, they are approached by Sinestro, who reckons he knows how to save the muty race. And this will play out in s.h.i.e.l.d. Good issue, this. I do need to come up with a name for this period of Excellent Men that I like. I called it the Extinction Years in some videos, but then I remembered that actually the run that I ate that ruined it all after coming second, they called the team the Extinction Team, so I want to distance it from that. I mean, strictly the books like this, from just before Messiah Compel X through to coming second. Endangered Species might be the best moniker to refer to these books. Yeah, Endangered Species, let's go on with that. Great stuff, I like it. 7 thumbs up.